Okay, a brief little shop update here. One of the things that I'm doing is stringing wire through this plastic encasing so that I can put it under for the inverter in the truck. As I said that I was going to do, I went out and got 10 gauge green. Now, I went to Napa and they only had it in 10-foot spools, so I might have to make a splice under there, but I will do that. I've got the truck in here, but I'm probably not going to be able to do it right away because I've got to make a headache rack for a trailer for a guy. So I'm probably going to be working on that tomorrow. But one of the other things is the under deck box came in for the trailer. It's 30 inches wide, 18 inches tall, 18 inches deep. So what I plan on putting in that is, if I do get a winch, I will probably put the winch in there. If this thing works out fine, it was 200 bucks from a place. Now, could I have gotten it? One of the thing that drove me to it is I've got 30 inches in between. I'm not really happy with the paint job on this thing, but so be it. What was I saying? Oh, if this thing works out, one of the things that drove me to it is 30 inches wide, and I have exactly 30 and like a 16th in between the gussets or cross supports or angled supports for the side rails of the trailer, and the thing will fit in there perfectly. Now, that being said, I've got to get the trailer in here and get it up in there and figure a way of mounting it up into it, but it looks like it's going to fit pretty good. And that's kind of exactly what drove me to this thing, is because this thing is 30 inches, so I've got a 1/16 of an inch gap on the thing, and it should fit right up in between there. And then I will fabricate brackets off of those existing rails and gussets to support this box. And if it works out good, I'll probably get one for the other side too. Now, it could be out in the air. There's a little dent in there. There was no dent on the thing, but I'm probably going to throw some paint on it before or after I mount it anyway. So it's not really a large dent, just a little dent. If it works out good, I'm going to get one for the other side, and that way I can store tarps. And if I do get a winch in these boxes, and miscellaneous other things if I want to. But I'll bring it back. So this is the angle iron that I bought for that chain binder rack. Now, I actually, if you've ever watched my other video on me building the binder rack for my trailer, I use 3-inch and 2-inch angle iron for it. Now, this guy, even though he has the same size trailer as mine, went out and bought 1/2-inch binders and chains, which the head on the binder is and the chain is a lot bigger than they are for 3/8. So I had to step this up and go to 4- and 3-inch angle iron to make this thing out of, just because of the thickness of the binder hook and chain hook. So here it is. I've got it marked out. Going to take it over to the mill and just mill slots into it. So I'll bring this back. Just the start of it. I'm probably going to end up having to change that bit because it's kind of dull. But anyways, that's the start of it. This is the last cut on it. I never did change that bit, so I'm kind of getting out towards the end, so it's going to squeak a little bit, but at least I got it all done with one bit.
but I'll bring you back.
Okay, so there's the chain basket done. I didn't show any of the build because, again, the exact same thing was done in another video where I made one for my trailer. You probably noticed, maybe you can notice, that it says top and front. The reason why that is because on the trailer, there is against the front of the deck, or the upright for it that goes up to the gooseneck hitch, there's a plate on top of the deck boards. So there's an 1/8 of an inch difference. So I made the legs on the front side, this front side, not the front side towards the trailer, but the front side of the basket as you're looking at it, 1/8 of an inch longer to compensate for that, so it sits level. But anyways, I'll bring you back. I haven't done any more on the thing. I'm going to get onto that and take care of that, and I'll show you that when it's complete. Putting some paint on them. This is going to be a short video, so I'm not going to show any of the fabrication because you've seen it before, or I've posted it before when I made mine. This is primed, not totally primed yet, and this has one coat of paint on it, so I'm going to put another coat of paint on it and then a coat of clear. Got to get more primer and paint, but I'll bring you back. This is that chain binder rack that I made, and this is a guy's trailer. I just got done putting it on. You know what I did is I allowed 1/8 of an inch for this, and when I allowed that, I just took it for granted that it was the same as my trailer, and it's not. It's a lot thicker. The trailer wasn't around when I made that allowance and started building this thing, so there's a gap under there where that board is. If the guy doesn't like it, what I'll do is I'll get a couple of pieces of angle iron, like little legs, to put on there and just tack them on, repaint it for him. But there it is, done. That was the binder that I had in the shop just to use for a trial to make sure that everything was going to work okay. That's my trailer over there in the background. I got to tell you the truth, this trailer, I wouldn't have bought this trailer. He's got this wood on it, and it was supposed to be a low profile trailer. My deck height is 36, and that's what they do, is they put that steel over the wheels so that they don't have to get deck above those wheels, so that the suspension won't go up and hit the deck if you've got the trailer loaded. And usually on a PJ, I think a PJ drops like, when you have a low deck trailer, I think it drops like 4 inches. Now don't quote me on that, but it's about that. But this one was only an inch difference than my trailer. So instead of being 36 inches, it was 35 inches. And then he put this wood on there, and the trailer dropped about 2 inches. Yeah, it's supposed to be rated for as much as my trailer, but I really don't see it. The other thing I don't like is that really small toolbox. That's why he ended up having to have that binder right. The binders wouldn't even fit in that toolbox. See, my toolbox is a lot bigger on mine than that thing is. Yeah, and lights, I mean, they just welded a bracket on down back there, where mine is actually in tube steel. This is actually a rectangular tube steel, if you can see it. So these lights that I put on are all enclosed in that tube steel. This thing, whether, I don't know whether you can see it, But all it is a flat bar piece of metal. I mean, the other thing that I don't like either is, see, my trailer has the angle iron laid flatways, so when you drive cars up in there, you get some traction. His has got they've just brought wood deck down, so in the wintertime, or if it's raining, you might have an issue getting traction up in there. Again, you know, it's cheaper than a PJ trailer, but you know, my contention is I'd rather have something reliable and better built than something cheaper, to tell you the truth, especially if I'm going to be driving quite a bit. The only thing I don't like about this thing is, you see this gap here? That annoys me. But you know what happened? These braces on the trailer go in. When I measured it down at the bottom. I shouldn't have done that, man. But I can't believe how far it was off. You know, it's only a little over 1/8 of an inch. But stuff like that kind of annoys me. See over here, it's flush. Well, a little bit off, but not 1/8 of an inch, that's for sure. But anyways, there it is, chain wrap.